What's up, guys? How's it going? Hope you're all doing well. So, it is officially fight week for what is a huge weekend of boxing. In this video, I'm going to be specifically talking about Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. Um, so, if you're new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe. Now, this fight, I don't expect it to be the most high-paced fight. Obviously, we got two very skilled counterpunchers matching up here. Two guys that are quite patient, especially Shakur Stevenson. I've seen interviews where he specifically spoke about, when you have two counter punches in there, the most patient out of the two guys wins. So I expect Shakur to be, looking to try and be even more patient than Teofimo in this fight. I do think Teofimo is going to have to look to be the aggressor in this fight, um, which if what he's been saying all these years, he believes to be true, that Shakur has no power and he's an amateur fighter, this and that, he has no power. We're going to see if that is true, because I think Teofimo is going to have to, possibly take a couple of shots in order to, try and get off his power shots. And Teofimo is a very hard, explosive puncher. So, all he needs to do really is land one shot clean, and it can change the fight. And like I said, he's a very fast, explosive guy, very creative guy. He can lead with power shots. He has a very uh, good left hook. He has a very good straight right hand as well. So he can punch with both hands. Shakur, on the other hand, I think is, you know, got the better jab out of the two guys, and I think he has the faster feet. Both guys got very fast hands, but I do think Shakur possibly has the faster feet out of the two guys. And I do think Shakur, probably has more ways that he can win this fight. I think there's specifically two ways he can try and go about it. Obviously, he can look to do what Sandor Martin did, another southpaw boxer with a decent jab. So I think Shakur can look to use lateral movement, look to use his jab, look to frustrate Teofimo Lopez, and look to, check hook him with that short right hook every time Teofimo Lopez sort of lunges in, maybe trying to throw a straight right hand to the body from too far out. We saw Martin drop Teo with this check right hook. So I think Shakur can look to do that, look to use his jab, look to use his movement. And when Teofimo lunges in from too far out, look to hit him with that check hook and, either drop him or because he should be sort of off balance, like I say, lunging in off balance. So that shot is going to be there. Shakur also has a very sharp, fast, accurate, straight left hand. Both guys are very accurate, by the way. But like I said, I think Shakur has the faster feet out of the two guys, and I think he probably has the better jab out of the two guys. Obviously, the other strategy would be to look to try and push Teofimo Lopez back, probably more riskier of the two strategies, as if you're going to be in the pocket with Teo, he's very dangerous, and he's a big puncher. So this is a more risky strategy. But we saw Lomachenko in the second half of the fight against Teofimo Lopez start to push Lopez back and start to, kind of have a lot of success when he started letting his hands go and pushing um, Teo back. I think also going to Teo's body is something Shakur could try to do if he does look to employ or deploy the second strategy of pushing Teofimo Lopez backwards in this fight. But like I said, that's a more risky strategy. However, I think Shakur is a good body puncher as well, and can, shorten up his shots as well on the inside. But like I said, much more risky strategy with a hard puncher like Teofimo. Getting in the pocket with him, he's fast and explosive. He can hurt you. So I think we'll most likely see Shakur play it safe and look to use his jab, look to use his movement, and look to try and frustrate and outbox Teofimo Lopez, which I think he can do. And Teofimo Lopez, I think, needs to try and go to Shakur's body in this fight. Um, Teofimo's a hard puncher. If he can start getting to Shakur's body and cutting off the ring on him, obviously, he can have great success doing that. The other thing is, Shakur's a guy that likes to use distance deception. He has his feet oftentimes quite wide, and he sort of leans back with his upper body to make it seem like he's further away than he actually is, so that he can hit you and you think you can't really land on him. And it is quite hard to land on his upper body, as his center of gravity is on his back foot when he's got his feet wide apart and he's leaning back like that. He can sort of lean out of the way of shots and counter you, but his body is still hittable. So I think it would be advisable for Teo to go to his body, because this will force Shakur to either retreat and give up ground, or just get hit to the body. And also, when he's giving up ground and retreating, he can't really punch while he's having to move backwards like that. So I think it's very advisable for Teo to go to his body with those hard shots that he throws. Very good body puncher is Teofimo Lopez. Um, and also, obviously, what I think we're going to see from Teo and what he does is, he's against Southpaw specifically. You see him sort of fight low. He bends his knees, he gets low, and he sort of leans away from the Southpaw's jab and then looks to counter. So he also, in a way, plays that distance deception game where he gets low and he leans out of the way of the Southpaw's jab and then comes back with hard counters. Like I said, Teo is very fast, so both guys, I'm sure, are going to be feinting and looking to counter each other using throwaway shots to try and set up counters. I do expect this, like I say, to be a very technical, high-level chess match with neither guy really wanting to make any mistakes and both guys wanting to counter each other. Like I say, I think the advantage goes to Shakur in this fight. I think he has got the better jab and is the better guy from the outside. So, in my opinion, I think we will see Shakur Stevenson probably win a pretty wide decision in this fight. That's my pick for the fight. I think Shakur wins and wins pretty wide and looks pretty good in outboxing Teofimo Lopez here in this fight. That's my final prediction and thoughts on this fight. Guys, let me know what your guys' thoughts and predictions are in the comment section below. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.